Hi, today we're making chimichangas, chicken chimichangas, by special request. One of my subscribers by the name of Fun to Sew 11 has asked me to make chimichangas. So basically, my very first video, I think, my first or my second video was the guiso, and I made it with pork. Well, I made it a couple of days ago with chicken, and you know, the longer you let something sit in the fridge, the deeper the flavors get. So this has been sitting in there for, you know, a couple of days, getting all nice and Mexican foody, and yep, pretty good, if I do say so myself. So basically, this is how you make a chimichanga. You can bake them, but that's no fun. So, but basically what I do is I smear some beans in. You want a very, very, very thin layer because this is going into hot grease. And you don't want like a total bean explosion. And then you're gonna want like maybe a third of a cup. At best, I think a third of a cup might be too much. But see, my big mistake right now is using the small tortillas. So they're gonna be like mini chimichangas. And then, so basically, yeah, see, that's coming out way too small. But it'll do for my kids and my husband today. But you basically want to use the big burrito size, I guess the 12-inchers. So there we go, there's one. Smear of beans. Handful of chicken, but not too much. And I'm using refried beans. I almost had the thought of using those ranch style beans, you know, the ones in the black can, but I thought at the last minute I better keep it authentic. So here's the second one, and yeah, they're gonna come out funky and looking weird, but like I said, I'm using tortillas that are too small, and this is for home anyway. We want it to look nice, but if it doesn't come out looking nice, at least it tastes good, and the family goes, yep, this is good. That's what we want. Doesn't matter, just so long as the family says, yep, this is good. When they run away from the table screaming, that's when you know you got a problem. So I am going to make a whole bunch more of these, and I will be back when they're ready to be plunged in oil. Okay, let me show you actually, before we plunge these into the oil, how to roll one. Basically, you're going to want to smear the tortilla with beans, and you're going to want to put the chicken on the end closest to you. See how there's like 4 fingers here, and you know, all this is over here on this side. I'm going to fold it, and then the ends come up. Okay, and then you're just going to roll it. Okay, and yeah, you're going to have juices coming out the side, but that's part of having guiso. And then you just skewer it with a Q-tip. We'll do one more for you. And I like to spread the beans all the way out to the edges because it kind of does serve as like a little bit of a glue. Now these are just filling down here on this side. I'm going to roll. And then the sides come up. And then roll again. And skewer. Alright then. Now we're ready to plunge some into some oil. Let me turn you. Okay, and here we are. We got a screaming hot pan filled with screaming hot oil. Now I am not going to deep fry these. I've got like what, maybe a ½ an inch of oil in this pan, and I'm just going to shallow fry them. Just kind of save those calories here and there, you know. And that oil is hot. Make no mistake. Now you want to be careful how many you actually put in the pan, because remember, the more stuff you got in the pan, the colder it's going to get. And the colder it gets, the food starts to absorb the oil, and we don't want that. So I think this is like a 12-inch skillet. So what do we got here? 6. 6 is good. You don't want to overcrowd the pan. And then we're just going to wait for them to get golden brown and delicious. And I've had this, I've heated up the pan for like 10 minutes on very low before I put the oil in. That's not anywhere near ready. And then I let the oil heat. The oil's actually been heating on extremely low for like 10 minutes. I mean, very, very low. If you're gonna heat your oil on like a super, super, super low flame and keep it on while you're waiting, I like to use Wesson because Wesson has a higher smoking point. But typically I just use the generic store brand oil. And we're gonna let these cook until they're golden brown and crispy and yummy. And we'll be back. And I'll show you how to plate them up and make the sauce. Okay, we have just turned them over and look at that golden brown. Golden brown. Be right back. Hi, okay, here we are with a plate of 24 mini chimichangas. And as you can see, for them to be minis, they came out really big. I ran out of beans 3/4 of the way in, but that's okay. I just did plain chicken. And let me show you how I like to serve these. There's a recipe for the green tomatillo salsa down there in my videos. Basically what you want to do is you want to lighten that up with just a little bit of water because the tomatillo salsa is pretty thick. And then you want to just, I don't know, maybe add 1/2 cup of yogurt for creaminess to the tomatillo salsa. And it just gives it that creaminess without having to add sour cream. Now, if you were having a party, okay, and a beautiful, beautiful thing to do would be to basically make this tomatillo salsa, thin it down with water, and then add the yogurt like I just did, and then just drizzle it over the top of the whole pile of chimichangas. But seeing as how this is tonight's dinner, here's what we're going to do. It's a twofer. You got your chicken and your beans in there, and you got a serving of bread. So then we're going to have a little bit of, and then we're going to put a couple of chimichangas on top. Oh, and don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. This is not a perfect kitchen. Some did get away from me. Okay? Some did. The phone rung, and I was trying to do dishes. And so basically what you want to do is put your green sauce over the chimmies. In fact, you know what? Let's go, see, this one came out nice. Let's go ahead and do 3. In fact, that looks really nice and creamy. Okay, and then just take a little bit of cheese, more of my on sale vegan shreds. And there you go. Chimichangas for dinner.